Kofi,
Yes.
lots of sporting activities across Europe. Over the weekend, lots of sporting news making the rounds over the weekend. Where do we start from?
Oh, we could
There's a
probably.
Champions League coming up. There's the big game because of the results that happened. This evening.
Mhm.
That game on Wednesday between City and Arsenal would probably tilt the title, you know, in the favor of City or even Arsenal. United making a push, in Spain. Barcelona seem to have, they are wrapping up the league already because they're 8 points ahead of Madrid. In Italy. Napoli, where do we start from?
Well, I think we could start from the point where I told you previously that Arsenal will not win the league. So we could probably
Okay,
start
so
from the
guys,
point.
we are live on Facebook as well as YouTube. Make sure at the same time, so it's concurrently. We are running live on Facebook and we are running live on YouTube. Just make sure if you have not subscribed, subscribe to Sports 101. Share the link, it's very, very important. So you can watch us live on Facebook, watch us live on YouTube as well. Kofi, like you said, yesterday we saw Arsenal, you know, drop massive points against Brentford. Going into that game, Brentford had been one of those stubborn sides against the top four sides. Let's not forget, prior to the last games heading toward into the World Cup, they beat City at the Etihad 2-0. And so I think that Arsenal should have been very wary of the threat that Brentford poses or posed to them. They drew that game. What do you think right now is going through the minds of the players and Ateta?
Well, I believe that at this point in time they are having self doubt. I mean,
You think
I
so?
I think they are having self doubt because listen, Arsenal have been here a couple of times, not probably with the squad, but if you trace back to the squads that they've been able to build across the years, they've been here a couple of times. Reason why they've not won the league title from 2002 and 2003 season, and so they've been here a couple of times. I'm pretty sure that. Couple of weeks ago, it looked like nobody could catch them.
Yeah.
And now, all of a sudden, with the events that have happened today, vis-a-vis to yesterday, um, all of a sudden they are just leading by this 3 points.
And 2 points out of a possible 15 from Arsenal. That's so
Well,
unlike
well,
them.
well, well. I think that momentum is sliding away from them. Their major opponents are having to gain traction in terms of the momentum, and I think that this is one thing that Arsenal needs to look at critically. Maybe we'll come to the
Yeah,
details
we'll get
proper
to
of
the detail.
why they are where they are.
Yeah.
But I think that at this material time, like
You
you
think that
had,
mentally they are questioning the
I am
capability of
thinking that in
the
that
team?
dressing room, they are thinking, are we good enough to go over the line? Are we good enough to win this league title? Do we really believe we are who we say we are? Do we really believe what we have put out to the rest of the world is exactly who we are? I'm pretty sure now they are looking at themselves in the mirror. And listen, you're dealing with an amateurish manager. You're dealing with a manager. Yes, I mean he's won the FA Cup,
Kofi,
and
if you say amateurish, he has won the Premier League title with City. He as the assistant manager. So this is a
no,
man
no, no,
who has
no,
seen
no, no,
winning.
no,
He's
no,
he
no,
he
no,
was in that
no,
dressing
no,
room.
no, no.
I'm sure there are times when Pep leaves that motivation bit to him. He has had time with
I
champions. So I think that saying is, if you say probably amateur or a rookie in terms of being a head coach, that I can understand. But Ateta has won the Premier League. He's won it with City. He's won the Carling Cup with City because he was the assistant
well,
manager of
I
City
I think that
when they dominated
I think
the
we're
season.
speaking in the context of him being a head coach, and him being a head coach in this position. I insist he's amateurish because he's not been here as a head coach before. This is the first time he's been here as a head coach. I mean, listen, significantly, the only trophy that Arteta has won has to be the FA Cup. That's the only senior trophy he's won. You understand? And so, if you're dealing with an amateurish manager who has been not been here before, and then you have a squad that's probably does not resonate with a lot of confidence and does not really have a lot of winning elements in that particular dressing room, then you have a combination that potentially could bust up. You understand? Because you're dealing with a squad that is relatively inexperienced in terms of trophy acquisition. Listen, you talk about the Arsenal team now. I struggle to find so many winners in there. You understand? You could only probably be speaking about Jorginho
Yeah.
in that light. You understand? So you look at that squad, you look at the manager, and you look at the people pursuing them, the people chasing them. You look at the pedigree of Pep Guardiola. I do not want to think. I am not ruling Manchester United out
No, I
of
mean,
that
you
title race.
can.
You look at the pedigree of
You're
Eric
right.
Ten Hag. You look at the pedigree of the people in that City dressing room. All of those winners across the years. Look at the pedigree of people in that Manchester United dressing room. And you think that Arsenal are a bit disadvantaged at this material time.
I think that on that state, I would want to agree with you because for me, I'm looking at the inexperience of the team. Take away Zinchenko and Gabriel Jesus, who Gabriel Jesus is out. Zinchenko is the only active member of that team that has faced these things before. I mean, you remember there are times when Liverpool will be running at City and Liverpool have gone at each other for the past four
Excellent.
seasons.
Yeah.
So they've been there before. They've held it before. They've lost it before. So for somebody like Zinchenko, I'm sure he's seen it before. The inexperience of that squad is my worry because look through the squad and nobody has faced that what they are currently, being faced with. Who? There's nobody. Odegaard.
Maybe Jorginho is a
Georgino.
Champions League winner.
You see, there's a cup competitions are totally different. This is a
Agree,
marathon
agree,
competition. So
agree.
I think that the inexperience of the team would come to bear at this material moment and at this point. This is where the experience of the manager, whether he has garnered a lot of
And then the
experience
temperament.
and the temperament of the manager, the
Temperament.
team itself. So, but I think that it will be too quick for anybody to rule Arsenal out of
Well, I've
of
said
the
it. I've
title
said it. I'm
because
repeating it today. I've
let's
said it. Arsenal are not winning the league title.
guys,
If you're an Arsenal fan looking at me right now, please, I'm sorry. I
guys.
don't want to burst your bubble of joy. You understand? But let me tell you point blank, as you watch me now, you're not winning the league title. You don't have the metal to win the league title. You don't have what it
I
takes
don't
to
know
win
why
the
Kofi
league
is doing
title.
this, but guys, what do you think? Kofi has already thrown out the verdict there. You think Arsenal are not winning it? What do you make of the recent happenings? 2 points in a possible 15. I think that is a bit disappointing. But for me, I expected it. There was going to come a time when they would have that topsy-turvy season. They would have that, rough moment and all of that. I think that people are being too harsh on the team because this is a team that prior to, their last defeat had not lost. They had lost just once in the league. So obviously, you see what City are going through. They are going through that moment, but City can put together a round of 15 games and it would happen. United have gone through. They are going through that, form phase where they're almost around winning games, at will. Yes, they will drop points here and there. So I think that you are being too harsh. But let's look at what happened on the day. We'll talk about the VAR issues and VAR controversies in that Chelsea game, the VAR in the Arsenal game, and all of that. But in that game, where do you think Arsenal failed to get it right against Brentford on Saturday?
Well, first of all, anyone who has watched Arsenal across the season would realize two things. Arsenal play with a lot of verve. They play with a lot of energy. There's absolute creativity about them. They go about their business very early when the game starts off. But all of this energy, all of this verve, all of this creativity was largely missing in that first half
Yeah.
against Brentford. And people have gone on to say that is it a case of Arsenal not being too talented when it comes to the squad depth? You understand? Because if you look at the starting 11 Arteta has put out there post the World Cup, he's fielded the same team for
I think
six
fatigue
plus
is also a
six
problem.
plus straight games. Same team, 6+ straight games. And so if
Is
you
that not what people say to build chemistry? Because for me, what do you expect? If you have your constant 11, they are fit, nobody is injured. These are the guys who you plan or map up strategies for against teams with. That's about the best. We talk about consistency. So what's the problem? Yes,
I get the
squad
point.
in depth
Yes,
and all that, but to
I
build squad chemistry, you
I
need a
I get a
consistent
point.
11.
I get a point you're making, but the point here is also simple. That if you want to build with a consistent squad,
Yeah.
know when to take off your key players.
That's
With
true.
the case of Arsenal, you realize that it is almost inevitable that some of the key players get to play all of the games
Yeah.
the whole of the duration.
True.
You understand? And so those are where the little caveats are. I think that, listen, for teams that have been successful, you talk about the City team, you talk about the Liverpool team. after 60, 65 minutes, you get to rest key elements
You
of
saw
that
what
team.
happened today?
Yes.
They were 3-0 up. Game
Take
done. Game
take
set and
take
match.
take off.
Take the
Take.
guys off.
I mean,
Let them
focus on
rest.
Wednesday.
Focus on
You understand?
Wednesday.
I mean, so these are the points we are making. If you take off Saka, if you take off
Who are you bringing on?
Odegaard, if you take off
Martinelli.
Martinelli, if you take off Nketiah, what are you bringing? So I think that one, maybe Arsenal underestimated the pursuit of the quality pursuing them. You understand
No,
the quality at hand.
I don't think
No,
Arteta will
because
show that.
because because
Arteta knows
because
what City
because
can do.
because
Arteta knows what
because
United can do.
because I think that they should have acted big in the January transfer window.
It's
If
January.
they no, if they
Most
really
teams don't want to
wanted,
sell their
I get a
best
point.
players
I
in
mean,
January.
but they are very creative players and creative finds teams have found
They
in
got
January.
Trossard.
Trossard, very good
Very
buy.
good player.
Very good buy.
They,
But
they
that there
wanted
again,
they wanted
the,
Caicedo, but the price 70
Trossard, very
million.
good player. But that's a drop in the ocean. Considering what's
Would you pay
the
70 million in January
if that wa-
for Caicedo?
if that is what it took to get over the line. Because listen, when you try to build a dynasty, this is what exactly Arteta and Arsenal are trying to achieve. They are trying to build a dynasty. The first one is the most difficult, you understand? But once you're able to pay over the odds, find the right player, go over the
You
line.
speaking as if you are certain that it's Arsenal won't win this title.
No, they won't.
Hold your horses. Let's take some comments. Already the comments are streaming in. Uh, PHA says that Arsenal will bottle this. Kojo Hayford says Arsenal are gradually crumbling. Charlie, you guys have been too harsh in Arsenal. Ariel Pius says that United is looking scary now, very difficult to beat. Zongo Media says the agenda against Arsenal is real. That's true. The agenda is too much. Julius says that Arsenal is shaking in their boot. Zongo Media comes back to say, how many winners are there in that Manchester United team aside Casemiro? That's a very fair point to make. Julius says, Zongo Media, please, our goalkeeper is a winner. Lisandro Martinez just won the World Cup tournaments are different, Charlie. Thomas Cook says that if Arsenal lose this title, PK Justice, Avero PK, good to be back, guys. Yes, we're back. Larry says that Arsenal is still top of the league. You all should have a rest. We will beat City and maintain our position at the top. The comments are plenty. Thomas Cook comes back again and say the agenda against Arsenal is huge, Charlie. It's huge. What is Kofi saying over there? Zongo Media comes back and say Julius, same as Arsenal. Zinchenko, Jesus, Jorginho, it's true. They are winners because says Arsenal are just misbehaving. So there seems to be, a cocktail of, thoughts about Arsenal. Some believe that it's expected. That's what personally I think that we are pressing the panic button too much because it was expected. But I think what has made this thing look so scary is the timing. If it had come earlier in the season when United have picked from at the right time, they are playing all the so-called Nkoso teams at the right time and winning at the right
And more
time.
importantly, United have gotten to play against the two
Against
biggest
the
ones.
two,
They played
exactly.
against Arsenal home
They've
and
played
away. They played against City
City.
home and away.
There's Chelsea to come.
Exactly.
There's what is it called?
Liverpool
Liverpool
to
to
play.
come. We do not know what would happen. So I think we are pressing the panic button.
No, I don't think so. It's
For
because
me-
of the team in question.
Arsenal.
Yes, Arsenal.
But then again, the Arsenal fans should understand that whatever project Arteta is building, I do not think that they have reached the maturity stage yet. I feel that this season was one of those drop in the ocean kind of season where, boom, all of a sudden Arsenal on top of the league. And so everybody think that the team is set. I do not think the team is set. The team would only be set because this team is not tried and tested. City, if you look at this City team, they've gone through the mill. They've been there. They've lost it, at the very last end. They've lost to City. Hey, Liverpool. Pep Guardiola bottled it at some point before he got a grip of this the Premier League. I think that Arteta's team would have to go through the mill. If they lose it, I don't think it's big news, Kofi.
Well, I disagree with you completely. Completely. One, this is the best chance Arsenal could ever win the league.
What makes you think it's the
I'm
best
telling
chance? You don't know what's coming up next season.
I'll tell you why. If Arsenal cannot win and do not win the league this season, it's over.
No,
It's
I think
over. You know why?
That's very
You know-
premature.
you know-
That's
you know
very
why?
premature.
You know
That's
why?
very, very
One,
premature.
they do not have the kind of spending power City, United, potentially Newcastle, Chelsea do have.
They
You understand?
they do have
They do
money.
not have that kind of
They
spending
have the
power.
money, but as to
Two,
whether they will
two,
spend,
two.
that's another thing.
Arsenal has always been inferior when it comes to attracting talent. So if you look at
Fair point.
yes, so if you look
Fair
at
point.
the projects that other rivals are building, look at the Ten Hag project, look at the Porter project, whoever comes in eventually. Look at Eddie Howe, what he's doing. Imagine Newcastle gets into the Champions League with all of the money available to them. Imagine Manchester United are bought by the Qataris with all of the monies coming in and with a good coach like Ten Hag. If Ateta bottles this, it's over.
I think that you are being
It's
too,
over.
it's premature
It's
because
over because you're
every
stuck with
season
Stan Kroenke. He's not going to give you that. Stan Kroenke is not going to pay that odd £100 million for a player.
You will never know. If I think that Arsenal would spend and spend big, let's not forget, Arsenal haven't made the Champions League in over 5 seasons. They've been struggling to make the Champions League. They've not even been in the top four in more than 5 seasons now. If Arsenal plays at least second, the team becomes very attractive because now Arsenal will be playing the Champions League.
But then
they would have a mileage.
But then
they would
would
have
you
a
want to
mileage it's a pulling power.
I get the point.
How many players would want to play for Chelsea in Europa because there is no way Chelsea will make the Europa League. Chelsea
The
have done
Champions League.
Chelsea have done spending. They are done spending. They will not spend anymore. There's no big player will come to Chelsea again. So if you look around, they are pulling what is it called? The transfer game will be between Arsenal, City, and Manchester United. Liverpool will not make the Champions League.
I get the point you're making.
For me, I think that we are being too
I get the
premature.
point you're making, but then again, I come back and ask you: if Arsenal places second, then you consider all of the other external parameters we are speaking around. Manchester United, we're speaking about Manchester City. Do you think the Arsenal project will be more plausible in terms of attraction? Will be more endearing to the average player more than all of these other managers with their caliber?
To the average player,
yes.
yes.
I mean, we are talking about
To the average player, yes.
Listen,
not the A-list players, because you and I will know that
maybe-
these A-list players, like Jude Bellingham, these A-list players, they would want to associate themselves with winning. They would want to look at Cody Gakpo. One of the reasons why I believe he granted an interview recently, he turned down the United move. Hey, I'm waiting for Manchester United. Is there the possibility that this United team will come good? There's already Liverpool who are already winners. They are in the Champions League. Let me go to them. So some of these top young talents, they want to associate themselves with winners. City, Liverpool, let's mention United, a bit of United. But these, up and coming, average players, they would want a place that they can rise and make their name. And Arsenal is about the best bet.
That's why they are not going to win the league, because if you are going to nurture the second listers in Europe and nurture them and want to make your career,
I know it's not all about buying big.
no, the best players. in the
Before
world.
we switch from Arsenal, let's take some comment. The comments are coming in fast and thick, guys. Like our videos. If you've not subscribed, make sure you subscribe as well. Ebenezer Tete says that, guys, Arsenal is just being Arsenal. In a way, somebody say we are not new to this. We are not new to this. Kobe Eshen says Kofi is making a fair point. If Arsenal don't win it this season, they can never win. I think that I do not agree, because the dynamics of every season is different. Nobody knows. City could go through what Liverpool are going through next season. City could go through what Chelsea are going through next season. Every season and what comes with it. So Zogo Media comes back and says Kofi is contradicting himself. You say we can never win the league, yet you say this is our best chance of winning the league. Well, he was speaking in context there. So many comments. I'll come back and read them. But Kofi, we've spoken about VAR, and its issues. Why is the Premier League struggling to properly interpret the rules when it comes to VAR? Because the inconsistency in the Premier League for me is outrageous. Guys, I think let's throw out there the verdict. Do you think that it's time they catch the VR? Because honestly, it's even making the game annoying. And we would love when we know the referees were there and these are human beings. They make the mistake. But it's annoying because the technology is meant to correct some of these basic errors. Yet the Premier League and its administration and how it's supposed to administer the use of the VR is making it, honestly, I mean, it's annoying. Look at Chelsea's issue. It's very, today there's a lot of inconsistency. I don't even know how to put too many inconsistencies.
Well, my stance on the VAR from day one has been very clear. It's a den for criminals. VAR.
Why not be, we have put it in context, because in other jurisdictions like in Germany, they actually apply the rule to the
We are
letter.
talking about the best league in the world. We are talking about the biggest league in the world.
Exactly.
Yes, I
So
mean, so
put it in
we
context
no,
that the Premier League are
no,
messing up.
we are talking about the league that generates the most revenue, and
It's arguably,
wherever there's money, there are chances for greed, there are
so you
chances
think
for
some people
manipulation.
are
I
manipulating
think
the
the
use of the
VAR
VAR.
is a den for criminals. It's where criminals lay their bed.
Look at that Chelsea. I think that
I
Chelsea had
so
two clear penalties that,
some of the decisions that have been made by the VAR, and then subsequently the apologies, the long
exactly,
letters.
you read the apologies, and
I
for
don't
me it's
get it.
nauseating on my.
I don't get it, because potentially we could be talking about a team being demoted.
Exactly.
We could be talking about a team
Winning the league,
not
even
getting
in
the
the
actual
Champions League
points
and the
to
same point and
win the
all of that.
league. You
Exactly.
understand? So the repercussions are quite extreme and dire. And so if the VAR was supposed to make these decisions 99% correct, why are we embroiled in all of these controversies? Why are we constantly having to talk about these controversies? I think that, listen,
There's some criminal
well,
mastermind behind the
for me,
scenes.
I think that, listen, and this might sound an unpopular opinion, but the game today is controlled by the betting companies. Whether you like it or yes, I mean, I think the game today is controlled by the betting companies.
I
And
want to
for
agree with
me,
you. I want to agree with you
I
on
say
that.
that this probably could be an unpopular opinion, but I think that we need to look at that whole element of VAR
Exactly.
again.
I want to agree with you on the bit that there seem to be a lot of, not corruption per se, but some form of criminal mastermind trying to then, operate to suit them when it matters. I don't want to buy into the bit that because of the numerous betting companies, but I feel that there's something wrong, because I do not get the consistent level of inconsistency. Today it works for you, oh, it's good. The next day, the reason why we say human beings are committing errors. So we are bringing in a technology that will allow a third party to sit behind a screen, have all the opportunity, have like 5 minutes to review it with the right technology, everything, and come with a decision. Yet they still get it wrong. Yet there is a problem. I, the problem is not with the technology itself. It's about the application.
The
Because
interpretation.
in other jurisdiction, even in Spain, we don't have so much of these controversies there. In Italy, there are not so much, because they are applying, even sometimes in the Champions League, once in a while. What? So it's the Premier League and how they feel that they think they can interpret what is it called the VR. But on the note of the VR, Chelsea, we can't go. We can't. Chelsea, Graham Potter, Charlie, the guy spent almost 400 million pounds in the transfer market, record-breaking January transfer market, splashing players left, right, center. Yet I saw them. The pattern of play wasn't there. You could see that even Graham Potter himself did not exude confidence. What's wrong with Chelsea?
In this
Sack
world,
the coach. I mean, let Papa Pasho sack the coach or keep the coach.
in this world, make money,
That you use it
but have
wisely.
a plan.
So you think Chelsea don't have a plan?
They don't have a plan.
Todd
I
Bowley
mean,
is just spending.
they have an Osikeni Bele, who does not know jack about running football, running all over the place, helter skelter. Does not know jack about. He probably thinks this is an American sport. He probably thinks
Very
that,
different.
yes,
How
he probably
American
thinks that the
football,
dynamics
American
of the
sport runs
American sport,
totally
no,
different from.
they are not going to be relegated. They are going to
Exactly.
be in there. They are going to find their way to man. Chelsea are a joke. They are an absolute joke. The joke is on them. You understand?
How?
Because you do not sack Tuchel not for footballing reasons. It must be pointed out.
Up
Tuchel was not
till
sacked
till
for
now,
footballing
till
reasons.
now, and you see, you backed him to make transfers, and 2 weeks later, you sack him.
And then bring this joke. Harry,
You think Potter is a
Graham Potter, joke.
Why?
He does not have the temerity to handle
A team like
the
Chelsea.
egos of what Chelsea is trying to put together.
These players do not have egos. Who in that Chelsea team, apart
Well,
from
I mean,
Thiago Silva,
no,
who's
no.
seen it,
Listen,
done it? Who is there?
listen.
These young
Obviously,
boys.
if you buy Mudrik for 100 million, he's going to have an ego. He's going to carry an
We
ego.
know. And for me, I always say I do not want to argue on player transfers or player price tags because it's about demand and supply right now. It's more about I am the one selling. I give, especially when there's no buyout clause or these clauses in there, so the teams can escalate. We know right now teams escalate players because of they see a need for the buying team. So I think that we are being too the price tag does not
No, but
necessarily
the point is simple.
determine the quality
I
of the
think the
player.
point is simple. Chelsea need to get a better manager.
How
And
can
for
Potter fix
me,
this?
he can only face this by writing his resignation letter, walking away from this
Whoa,
project.
guys, Kofi feels that
And you know what makes
Potter
it
should
scary?
resign.
You know what makes it scary for me? I do not think that any coach worth his salt would want to walk into this chaos. Listen,
Who are they
yes,
even bringing?
I've seen teams rebuild. If you look at Florentino Perez in 2009, when he wanted to build the Galacticos, he made about 7 or 8 transfers. There was Kaka in there, there was Zabi Alonso, there was
That same
Cristiano
season, bought
Ronaldo.
Cristiano Ronaldo.
Exactly. So I've seen
Huge.
teams try to rebuild with a level of
But
quality,
even Real
with the
Madrid, they are not
spine
doing.
available.
It's
You
true.
understand? But I look at this Chelsea team. I ask myself one basic question. Come on, where's the spine?
No, they are trying to rebuild from scratch.
You cannot have it work that way. You cannot have it work that way.
So Piquet singles out players like Correa as one of those. Who are some of the major culprits in that Chelsea dressing room? Who on the field of play, you think that they are yet to, impress?
Well, Mudrik has not
No, I think
shown
that
his.
you are being
Mudrik
too
has
harsh
not.
on. I mean, the guy has had just
No,
two, three games.
he's not had one dribble. He's not had one dribble. One. My friends call him the YouTube Ronaldinho. I don't want to sound sarcastic, but that's what my friends call him.
Quickly before Percy joins us. Before Percy joins us, City come up against Arsenal on Wednesday. For City, I'm coming.
They will kill them.
We cannot.
On Wednesday, they will kill them.
City come up against
That
Arsenal
whole point
Wednesday.
about we are top of the league. Wednesday, they'll find their smoothness level.
City's issue is not about whatever is happening on the pitch. It's more about the issue of the pitch.
Of the pitch.
We know the issues. Let's look at the possible ramification before we look into that. If we look at that game on Wednesday, then Percy will join us and have his take on the issues. For me, in law, they call something precedence, and this is a gray area in the Premier League. This is about the first time that such an incident is happening to a big team, a top team. Is a gray area. There are a lot of possible outcomes: demotion, fine, point deduction, possible outcomes. The only time City faced such an issue was when, in 2012, when they had issue with UEFA. UEFA took this issue up against they breached the FFP rules. They took it to the court of arbitration and they won. But they cannot take this case to the court of arbitration basically because the Premier League is a body on its own who operates outside the court of arbitration, so they cannot appeal. But what has been done and what the Premier League allows is that there's an independent body that has been set up already and is already looking into the case. And per the findings, this case could drag for a year, 2 years, and all of that. But there are possible ramifications in there. Do you think the City will be relegated? Because if the issues are true,
they won't really.
it's a dent on the Premier League and City themselves. The Premier League will want to protect their reputation and they want to set a precedence for the first time. You think City will be punished?
Well, I think they might be punished, albeit slightly. I've listened to people who have key influence in some of these decisions.
Exactly.
Listen, they've said that it could be an anticlimax.
A fine.
Yes,
That's what I think too.
It could be a fine.
That's what happened when they went to the court of arbitration. That's fine.
Because Listen, City are not going to lie on the ground. The issues are simple. They have overstated their revenues and underdeclared their expenses. That's the crux of the whole issue. And I think that what could potentially happen is that City are hiring some of the best lawyers on the
They,
land.
they actually have some of the best
They
lawyers
are
in the
hiring
land
some
who
of the
know how to
biggest. Yes.
mess
So
you up.
so I think worst case scenario,
Fine.
I don't even see a point deduction.
No, but
I
that's
see a
what I think. I don't
fine.
think that they will deduct them any
I
points.
see probably the EPL trying to impose
Maybe a transfer,
The
exactly.
Spanish style of going about
Have
things.
a
The
cap
thing
for them.
exactly.
You cannot spend
I
beyond
mean
this level.
I read a particular article that sort to say that what the Spanish Federation is doing is quite unpopular with the teams, but it helps them stay within their boundaries. You
Exactly. It
understand? And so
sanitizes the
exactly.
system
So I think that
financially.
the APL could potentially look at such a measure, and for me, I
You know,
think in the end it will be much ado about
Liverpool
nothing.
were hoping that this time they will win the league.
Oh no!
But guys,
Oh no!
what do you think? Based on the information that has been put out, the information that we've put out, do you think that the EPL should go hard at Manchester City, deduct them points, or relegate them? City Arsenal, that game. How are you expecting that game to go?
Listen, if you watch City play today, it looks like you remember Samson and that story in the Bible where he lit up the tails of some foxes,
Exactly.
destroyed the whole plantation. This is City now.
You expect that game? They're playing. They're
I
playing
think
at
that
the Emirates Stadium.
I understand. I mean, I think that all of the things that have happened to City off the field has brought some level of unity. It's galvanized the squad again. I watched Pep Guardiola's
That guy, he knows how to
I
play that
watched Pep
mind game very
Guardiola's
well.
pre-match game interview before this weekend's game, and the way he came out fighting, I'm pretty sure that it's the same. That
It
same level of
resonates.
fights
It resonates
resonate
through
across
the
the
entire
team.
team.
You
Yeah.
understand? So I think the City are going to are going to give it their maximum. They are going to prove to people that listen, if you want the points, take it all on the field.
And they
And
know that if they win that game, they close that's
no, if what
55-55,
happens? What happens is that
and
if they win that
they'll
game,
be on top of it because they
if they
have a
win
better
that game, they
goal
hold their
average
destiny in
in
their
their own
hands
hands.
because invariably Arsenal would have to travel to the Etihad. You understand? Arsenal would have to travel to the Etihad. If they win that game, they have the goals going in their favor. They have a superior goal tally to Arsenal's.
Exactly.
So they hold all the
All the
aces. If
aces.
they win that game, they wrestle back their destinies into their hands.
How do you expect Arsenal to approach that game?
Well, they are tired. They are tired.
What would be their best approach for Arsenal? Because a draw would favor Arsenal in the best possible
No,
way.
but it will
They
be
would keep the
dangerous.
same
It will
3
be
points, and they would
dangerous.
have a game to spare
I get the
as well.
point, but it will be dangerous to try to play for a draw against the City team. Very dangerous.
You think
How do you go about
that,
it?
That FA Cup game, it was a very close game. The game City won by a goal to nil.
I think
It
that
was
was
a
a
very
chess.
close
That
game.
was a game of chess. You understand? And all the two teams were trying to size up each other. Obviously, Arsenal did not play with their best of squad. They did not play with a fully strengthened
So
squad.
that should tell you that if imagine
But
Arsenal playing at home,
I watched Arsenal against Brentford yesterday. They could not deal with the physicality of Ivan Toney.
it's
You
like
understand?
boxing. Styles make fight, teams make games. So the opponent will determine how you'll approach the game.
You know what happened in the game on Wednesday?
Yeah.
They are going to throw out Haaland to that Arsenal back four. Terrorize them
Muscle them.
with physicality. And in that game, we'll see City crossing a lot of balls into that 18-yard box.
So-
because Arsenal has proven now that they are susceptible to being caught when the odd ball or the dead ball
That's very
situation.
true.
Yes, I mean
Who wins it?
City
Scoreline.
0-3.
Guys, Arsenal take on City on Wednesday. Don't forget, we are live concurrently on Facebook and on YouTube as well. So we are live on Facebook and YouTube as well. So you can go to our Facebook page, Sports 101 on Facebook. Trust me, the show is getting hotter and hotter. I'll get to your comments, and take your comments and keep the comments coming. Like when you come in your comments, just make sure you like the video. This is our live stream of the various sporting activities that happened over the weekend and during the week. Kofi believes that City would destroy Arsenal by 3 goals to 0. Come Wednesday, 7:30. By 9:30, the game is done. We'll be here live to do an exclusive solely on that game on Wednesday. That game will be a very hot game. We want to know your comments on that game. Who is winning the game? How do you expect Arsenal to approach that game? Percy has joined us. We'll talk about. I want to know. I would want your take on Arsenal, but and that Arsenal City game. Manchester United, they played Wolves over the weekend because of the cup game and all of that. They had to play, Leeds. They had to play. That game ended 2-2. They had to play Leeds again today. And in the 80th minute and I think the 83rd minute, 85th minute, United put the game to bed, beating Leeds by 2 goals to 0. The Leeds team that does not have a substantive coach. What do you think is going right for Manchester United? Because there seemed to be that renewed old Manchester United never say die attitude. The players, I watch United play. I've seen United play for quite some time now, and they are playing with a lot of confidence. It's not so much about the quality of individual players, because for me they are not so much A-list top class players, but there's a lot of confidence in the team. And when they are coming up against you, they believe they can beat you. What is going right for Arsenal? Hey, Manchester United.
I think it's two things. One of them is the owners decided not to repeat the mistakes that they've had in the past. And they made a decision that was a 50-50. They didn't actually, I'm not going to say they didn't actually know what was the outcome, but they made a decision and they decided to stick with it. And that has to do with the departure of Cristiano Ronaldo.
Okay.
It was a very, very tough decision.
You think that has helped the team?
Of course, to stick with their superstar or to stick with their coach.
Pause there. The way the comments are coming, if I don't read them, I might just skip them before we close. So Rita says, I really like the project Chelsea are building. Tally. You keep the comments coming, because when you keep them coming, the thing skips and all of that. So Rita says, I really like the project Chelsea are building. Please keep Graham Potter. PK says that Arsenal will be beaten, and I'll request this song for them, Back to My Root. So I don't know if production team, maybe when Arsenal loses, we'll start off with Back to My Root from PK. Lucky, don't stress yourself. Kofi is never going to give Arsenal any chance on Wednesday. Too many comments, Charlie. Guys, we love you so much, and thanks so much for the support. Let me see. Let me take this one. Guys, I'm not a Chelsea fan, but I see... when you send a comment, then it skips anything. When it says that word, guys, I am not a Chelsea fan, but I see Chelsea coming good at the end of the season and the beginning of next season. As for Potter, he needs to be shown the exit. But we are asking a simple question on our poll section. Will Manchester United win the Premier League? I'll throw that question to Percy after all his submission, because United have a chance of winning the Premier League. We'll look at that. But you were speaking on the issue. What is going right for Manchester United?
I was saying that they had the opportunity to either, or the option to either stick with Cristiano Ronaldo when the whole season rambling with the coach, or to stick with the coach. And they decided to stick with the coach.
Yeah.
And they ousted Cristiano Ronaldo. And I think that decision was a do or die affair, because the fans would come at you if for letting their darling boy go and things don't go on right. And I think that decision, he was the, should I say, the only alpha male there, because I don't see any alpha male around in United. So taking him out, it was more or less like, now it showed the players that if a player like Cristiano Ronaldo
is gone,
can be pushed out as a result of either mutiny or not putting up his best in whichever way, then who are you, Rashford? Who are you, Martial? Who are you, whatever? And I think that has kept them on their toes, because you realize that no player, as at now, no player had been guaranteed a starting spot after Cristiano Ronaldo left. Even Rashford, when Ronaldo left for a while, we were not really seeing the first 11. He got to what I mean, even the captain himself Harry Maguire, save today, has been on the bench. Even after all of his exploits in the World Cup, was on the bench. And even you will get Luke Shaw, who would be playing centre back. And even go to a time, Luke Shaw was on the bench. And Tara Malasia was starting. So now it has brought competition and it has brought that idea that nobody is safe. And the second thing is that whatever the coach puts across, or whatever mentality the coach puts across, the players have been able to grasp it and they are working with it. It's like he's been able to transform the team based on the ideologies that he has. And that is what is like when you see the team, you realize that the coach or the players are playing according to the tune of the coach.
Yeah.
And that is one thing that has really helped, because if they are playing according to the tune of the coach, irrespective of which player you put in, that is what was happening to.
So there's a system that is functioning.
Just like what was happening to Jurgen Klopp's team of 2-3 years ago.
Yeah.
He put the system there. So whether Origi is playing number 9, Firmino is playing number 9,
Who has been United's best player this season?
undoubtedly is Casemiro. I wouldn't need to think to it.
Guys, let's do this. Who has been Manchester United's best player this season? For me, the team is an entire team. I do not think that you can single
of course.
one individual out. Rashford is on
I give
fire.
you- yeah.
Casemiro has been good. Lisandro Martinez has, even
Perfect.
Varane
Very good.
has been good. I mean, the entire Luke Shaw plays at center
get
back
you.
and he performs.
It's based on what you put to me. Like I said, it's a system. But irrespective of how compact or how whatever a system is, you would always get a player who put things together, and it's evident.
So, my people, again, I ask, who has been United's best player this season? Percy believes it's Casemiro. I don't think that I can single anyone out. If I'm pushed the wall, I'll pick Marcus Rashford because his goals have literally propelled Manchester United to where they are. But the poll says, Kofi, Ali, they say United will not win the league. So forget. But 67% of the people are saying that United will not win the league. So the poll is out there. Will United win the league? 67% says that United are not winning the league. 33 says United are winning the league. Then again, I'm asking, who has been Manchester United's standout player this season?
Like I was saying, it was evident the first time that Casemiro was out against Arsenal. When he was in for a number of matches. It's not like if you don't watch the matches and you look at the scoreline and you're like, okay, Rashford scored and Rashford scored and Rashford scored. But you rather watch the matches and see the integrity, because Manchester United's problem over the past 5, 6, 7 years had been a solid defensive midfielder. And when Carrick was fading out, even Carrick, when he was around 33, 34, that is Mourinho's first season, it will surprise you that whenever Carrick was out, United was down. That was Van Gaal's season. But ever since that time, there had not been a consistent. You've had Maran Fellaini playing, you had Bastian Schweinsteiger playing, there was Morgan Schneiderlin who came in, Fred has come in, Scott has come in, and the problem had always been who sits in front of the defenders and mops up everything. And ever since Casemiro came, you realize that the whole team, it's so evident.
There's a certain solidity.
Solidity now. The attackers, it has made Bruno Fernandes very free. They can leave and know that there is and he's not just doing the defensive midfield work. He's also adding a lot of
his link-up play has been excellent. That transition from midfield
just like
to attack.
He was playing when he was loaned to Porto, FC Porto, when he was even playing free kicks to score. He's brought a system of central midfield, box to box to his game, and it has freed the defense.
I love the energy with you see, Percy is exposing himself. Guys, Percy is you see the way he's analyzing the United team with a lot of
like I'm teaching in class.
So
I put a lot of passion.
The same pool. Will United win the league looking at the way things are? United are just 2 points off City. City are 3 points off Manchester Arsenal, who have a game in hand. I don't want to put that less because anything can happen. So technically, United are 5 points off the table. And how many games do you have to spare? More than 10 games to spare.
A lot, like 15 or 16.
Okay, yes, we played.
United has played.
Yes, 16 games to spare. So just 6 points, possible 6 points is I mean a loss and a draw. So will United win the league? Looking at the form they've picked, yes. They've dropped some points in the last 2-3 games, but they are not losing. That is the ultimate, and that's what's important. But there's still City. City, they've been there, they've done that. Are United winning the league if they maintain this trajectory and this same momentum?
I will change the word there and I'll make it can United win the
No,
league.
for Candy,
No,
I mean,
I'm coming.
can you slap me? Yes, I can, but will you slap me? No. So let's be a man. Kofi,
no,
you want
listen.
to like about
No, I'm
Kofi?
coming.
Kofi can stick his neck out and say,
Listen,
Arsenal are
listen.
not win. They won't. Will United win the league?
There is no way that is what you are saying. If you say well,
Yeah.
no, when
Yes
you say,
or no?
no, listen. We are all students of English.
Exactly.
When you say well,
Uh-huh.
it is a definite thing.
Yes.
Very, very definite.
So will they?
I'm coming. The margin of error is almost zero.
Whether will they?
I'm coming. The margin of error when you say well,
Is chickening.
no, I have to listen. When you say well,
Uh-huh.
well means that if you take the margin of error,
Exactly.
it is very, very slim.
But there's still a certain margin
United
of error.
can win the league.
You see, he's like the student who is setting his own
No,
questions and answering them. You see, even Fulham.
Yes.
You know that even Fulham can win the league.
Very good. You said can. Why did you say
no,
Fulham
I'm coming.
will?
Based on the position, the league log, even Spurs can win the league. But I can stick my neck out and say Spurs will not win the league.
I can stick
because
my neck
I have
and say that Arsenal will not win the league.
But why can't you stick
No,
your neck out and say
I'm
United
coming.
will not win the
Arsenal
league?
will not win the
Will
league.
United win the
I'm
league?
coming. Arsenal will not win the league.
Guys, you see where you see for an analyst who is you see where his bias lies. He can say Arsenal will not win, but he cannot say United will not win.
Set your questions to me and
Anyway,
expect me to answer the very way you want them to be.
Liverpool are coming up against Everton, the Merseyside derby. It could go any other way. We've seen Liverpool season very horrible. For me, I think that Klopp is the number one culprit. A lot of people have spoken about the 7th-year curse. At Mainz, he left. I mean, name them. All the teams he's managed at the highest level. On his 7th year, he has one of the terrible seasons or worst seasons he can. Then it's either he's sacked or he resigns.
He's been sacked. He's been sacked.
He resigns and all of that. So Liverpool come up against, it's a Merseyside derby. Everton seem to be on some sort of renaissance or rise with what's his name, Sean Dyche in charge. Very, very defensive in terms of how he approaches games. There's talk that Luis Diaz will be coming very soon. All the players that are injured will be coming up very soon. That would bring a sense of confidence in the team's psychological boost. Let's look at that game on Monday quickly. Who is winning that game? Liverpool, Everton.
This one, it's a done deal for Liverpool.
Liverpool are winning
based on the past matches they've played. I don't remember
even in the form they find themselves.
It's not about form. Liverpool, even when they were not in this form, for over 10 years, it's a one-sided. It's just like the London derby, Tottenham and Arsenal. Save recently that you probably have one off. It was always Arsenal.
Yeah.
Just like this one.
Yeah.
Everton, even when they had the toppest form with Kevin Mirallas and all of his likes with Martinez at the helm of affairs, Liverpool were still beating them. And this game, I would go out for a draw because
you think it will end up in a draw?
2-1. There's an Everton team that has sacked its coach with a new coach. And save Leeds, who messed up. In Premier League or in football, there's this narrative that whenever a coach goes off, it's so easy for the players to rather probably want to prove to the new coach or try to put things together. So this is an Everton team that has had a draw with Manchester United and would want to prove something. Beating Liverpool will not be a small thing to be able to overcome. And Liverpool too have this thing in their mind that irrespective of how bad they are, Everton is cool job for them.
Kofi will join us, very, very soon, and the three of us will have our take on, Thursday, United are taking on, Barcelona in the Europa League.
Yes.
There are Champions League games, coming up. We'll hit on that, the three of us will hit on that very, very soon. But let's take a quick detour. Quick one. Your take. The Italian Premier League, who is winning it? Napoli seem to be unstoppable in Italy.
Yeah, of course.
Who is winning it? Quickly.
It's Napoli and no other team would come close because the only
Inter seem to be on fire. Inter and Atlanta.
You see, for Atlanta, it's a flatter to deceive team. even for the past 3 seasons, they've done better than even what they are doing. Even the times that they have Giuseppe Lecce
Okay.
in the best of form, you realize that they were firing all cylinders. This is an Atlanta team that would do their best. Best they can do is to be in top 4. That is Champions League.
So Napoli wins it.
Of course, because for Napoli, the last time they were on fire like this was in the 1989 season. That was Maradona giving them their last league trophy.
Okay.
The times that they came close was Sarri's last season. That was the 17-18 season. They lost narrowly to Juventus in the last two matches or so. That was when they lost that.
Yeah.
But having this renaissance with Kvaratskhelia and
that Korean guy,
that
Korean
Korean
player,
the Korean guy who came in to replace Koulibaly and Osimhen, you realize that even when they falter,
United's target.
even when they falter, those behind, you realize that they are not really. If you take AC Milan, it's one of the most terrible title defense.
AC Milan, I've been very disappointed with Milan this season. They've been very poor, especially after the
they
World
were
Cup.
expected to buy. They won. They know that they won the league last season because the rest were rubbish.
They didn't inject a lot of capital. Spain, Barcelona seem to have wrapped up the league with an 8-point gap over Real Madrid.
And whenever they lead with an 8-point gap at this time of the season, they win.
They win. So you think Xavi would win his first major title as a manager? This Kofi has to have his take on it because this is the guy who has been lambasting Xavi. Kofi, join us so that we conclude. I mean, the last few minutes before we wrap up, Kofi can join us. But guys, let me take your comments. Oh, Charlie, so many comments. So the poll has ended. The poll has ended. Kofi, they are saying you guys will not win the league. 57 people say no. So PK says Obiam remember, so United should continue the talk. Your time will come. I will try and take the comment, but Asemo, hey, Emmanuel Kofi Awuni says, what's Lucky saying? Trying to build from where? Massa, you're careful. They don't know what they are doing. He's talking about Chelsea. I'm trying to. Please, Modric is a good player, but now Cucurella is being the Modric here. The guy is just busy for nothing. Are you not being too harsh on Modric? So, okay, I've taken this one. Manchester United is on fire, but don't forget the word factory. The guys believe that it's they say Mampa Mimika, monitor lizard. They will run like 5 minutes and they'll stop. They'll be panting like they cannot run again. Since United is practically behaving like monitor lizards. Okay, so Wednesday, Kofi, Bessie, give Kofi the mic. So this is the first time. I mean, the three of us are all here. I didn't get your take. Who do you think has been United's best player this season? Piqué, Rita, all those guys that have been commenting. We want your take. Who do you think has been United's standout player so far? Kofi, you've been hounding Xavi, for God knows how long. He's literally taking the La Liga with ease. They are beating practically almost every team they come up against. 8-point lead, over Real Madrid. Barcelona have a game in hand. Real Madrid have 2 games in hand. Are they winning it or Xavi will bottle it?
Is there equality in the La Liga?
There is a lot of quality in the La
There's
Liga.
no quality. I mean,
there's a lot. Well, so the narrative has shifted from Xavi. When the season started, Xavi will not win the league.
But that he's 8 points ahead now does not mean he's won anything. He could do an Ateta, potentially.
Why are you behaving like stick your neck out? Will Xavi win the La Liga?
Well, I think Real Madrid have priorities elsewhere.
Real
Madrid have priorities elsewhere. Because
it's a matter of priorities.
Honestly, I do not see the quality in the La Liga. Who is there?
So you think Barcelona are winning the La Liga because there's not much quality?
Listen, if Barcelona were good enough, they wouldn't have been demoted from the Champions League to the Europa League.
Come and win the league. This is your question.
To the Champions League, to the Europa League, 2 times in quick succession. That's not a team that is good enough.
They are saying that United can only win the Carabao Cup. But for the EPL, forget. It will not happen. Forget.
No, but I am not even interested in Manchester United.
Quick
I'm
one.
interested
United, Barcelona this Thursday.
Well,
the 2 sides renew their rivalry. These two sides have been going at each other in European competitions. Barcelona has a better in terms of record against them, winning the ultimate and all of that. The last time United did one over Barcelona was in 2008. When United went all the way to win the Champions League, but Barcelona seemed to get
When
a
John
grip.
Terry slipped.
Barcelona seem to
penalty.
get the better of Manchester United in European competitions. The two sides are coming up against each other in the Europa League come Thursday. Where do you see this game going?
Well, Manchester United as a coach, I do not know what Barcelona does. I think that
By Barca fans, Kofi is being unfair.
No, I think Xavi is a motivational speaker. I don't think he's a good coach. I think that he's just found a way of motivating the boys to play. When it comes to crunch, I expect Ten Hag to do one over Xavi because, listen, the truth of the matter is that if Barcelona had money, Xavi would not be the one managing the project.
Who would they bring?
They solely wanted Eric Ten Hag, but they did not have money to price him away.
But you will agree with me that player for player, Barca seem to edge Manchester United in terms of quality.
Who? Which
player
player?
for player?
Which player?
Now,
Which player?
I'm coming. In the striking department,
Who?
Barcelona have an edge over.
Who?
Come on, Robert
You
Lewandowski.
want to compare
Robert
that,
Lewandowski.
you want
Robert
to compare
Lewandowski.
that old man to
Robert
Rashford?
Lewandowski.
No.
A 50-year-old Robert Lewandowski is better than Marcus Rashford. Now,
you do not want to
in the midfield department, Barca have arguably two of the best midfielders currently. If you are listing three players, best midfielders right now, Barca have two in Pedri and Gavi. And for some reason, Frankie de Jong has found his best form, playing the best football. Who wins it?
Like you ought to be serious.
Thursday, who wins it? We'll come back and talk about that. Who wins it?
No, you need to look at your listeners in the eyes, your viewers in the eyes.
But I think that Barcelona are beating Manchester United not less than 2 goals. Who wins it? Quick one. Before we check out. Quick one.
Draw.
You think it will be a draw?
The job will be done at Old Trafford.
Who wins it quickly?
Oh, it will be a win at New Camp. And a trash
it will be a win at New Camp for who? Is it Percy?
For Manchester United. I wasn't done.
He's too Percy usually chickens out when it comes to predictions. Who wins it come Thursday?
Come Thursday. Oh, United
they are beating Barcelona at the Camp Nou. You think it will be a draw? I think Barcelona will beat Manchester United not less than 2-0. But guys, it's been an amazing show. We looked at some of the interesting things happening around Europe. This is what we do every Sunday live on our YouTube channel and on our Facebook channel. Make sure you subscribe to Sports 101. Like our videos. Go back and watch our old videos. Amazing content for you. I did this with Kofi Asiedu, Percy Bonnie. The production team is behind making sure that they get things sorted out. But listen, Sports 101 has some exclusive news for you. Do not worry. It will come out very soon. Very, very exclusive. And when we hit that news, we'll be everywhere. But we love you so much, especially PK, Rita, all those guys who commented. We love you so much. And thanks for tuning in this evening. We'll see you again, Kofi.
Yes, we love you. We love you.
Have a lovely evening. We are out.